Oh my god. There's no way that's a bass. Oh my god. Heads up, heads up, heads up, heads up.
Day one, getting it done at the James. Back in the shop here. It's Monday morning. Just got home yesterday morning from the James River in Virginia. Managed to pull off a top 10. Got to fish Saturday. Super stoked. Very excited about it. So we'll go through a couple tricks of the trade here. What I did differently than everybody else did. And I emphasize differently because I was fishing in a crowd. Or crowded for the area I was in. I found a lot of fishing practice, doing a lot of different things. But there were certain trees in certain areas. Basically, flipping cypress trees was the deal for me. But certain cypress trees held the bigger females versus other trees holding a lot of the buck bass and smaller males, in my opinion. I started out day one. We made a fairly long run. Started out day one flipping the Strike King Rodent and green pumpkin. This one's a little faded, but I would dip the tails in chartreuse, just give it a little accent. Throwing that on a Mustad grip pin 5/0 flipping hook, straight shank flipping hook. 20-pound test, vicious Pro Elite Fluorocarbon. Make sure I got that facing the right direction. Woo Tungsten 5/16 ounce flipping weight and Woo Tungsten bobber stops. I know this isn't a 5/16, but it's what I got in the package. So, and then here's the bobber stops. Threw that on a 7/6 heavy action arc Invoker flipping stick, along with the Daiwa TWS 7.3-1. So that's where I started in the morning. Caught first couple fish on that, first 2 or 3 fish on that. But the problem with the flipping bite, everybody was doing it. Everybody was doing it. It works very well there. The issue I was running into is I believe they were either bedded or pressured, or a combination thereof. They would grab the tentacles off the bottom, just below the hook, as they always do, and that's all you would come back as, missing that. They would carry it 6, 8, 10 feet. Very rarely did they just dump it and eat it. So about probably 45 minutes into the morning, I had put a couple fish in the boat. Just the water was really clean in the area I was in, and that's one of the things that attracted me to it. Even though Thursday we had high winds, it was calm where I was. It was actually very nice. Was able to stay in there and effectively pick stuff apart. So about 45 minutes in, I made a switch. Yes, I know, I got out a spinning rod. Made a switch to a weightless stick bait. This is the Berkley Max Scent General. I threw it in 2 colors. This one is, let's see, green pumpkin watermelon. And the other one, which as you can see I'm out of, was baby bass. Throwing that on braid to about a 5 to 6 foot, 10-pound leader, fluorocarbon leader. Again, delicious, vicious elite fluorocarbon 10-pound leader. You don't want the leader real long. You don't need a real long leader because the water is not clean. It was cleaner there than the rest of the areas, but it wasn't clean, so you could get away with the short leader. And B, typically you want that knot, the connection knot, when you go to make your cast. the connection knot, you want it somewhere about midsection of the rod in this general vicinity. It'll make casting a lot easier. When you're skipping and trying to make accurate casts like that, you don't want that knot down here in your reel, because even though you trim the tag ends real tight, it'll still have enough to catch on it, and it's going to make your casting very, very difficult. So through that on a VMC Neko hook. I don't have a lot of faith in any of the weedless single hooks that are out there. I really like a straight shank hook, a light hook, a small hook, because you don't want to impede on the action of the worm. This is a do-nothing bait. You throw it, you let it sink. I did throw around a lot of cypress knees. As you can see, that one's slightly bent out. Did get snagged once or twice, but this is in the size 4, the VMC Neko hook. That's what I was throwing. Threw that on a Invoker Pro 7'1" medium action spinning rod, paired up with the Lose. As you'll see in the video, about 45 minutes in, I make a change to this particular bait, and it was my own fault. I got a good bite. It was probably close to 6 pounds. Come out from underneath the tree, battled it for a little bit. It was so big it couldn't even jump. It wallowed in and spit the hook back at me. So, lesson learned on that fish. They were very finicky. He hit it, let him have it for like a 3 count, 4 count. You know, don't feel the bite, set the hook, which is what I did on that one, and it was my mistake. I adjusted after that fish, and I never missed another fish on the single the rest of the week. So that day, because the water remained, I stayed in that same area, fishing basically 6 trees, 2 of which the majority of my weight came off of that day. Everybody else in the area, and there was lots of other boats in the area, I was talking to them, I could see them, I could watch what they were doing, they could watch what I was doing. Everybody else in the area was power fishing, either flipping, running a square bill, or throwing a spinnerbait. All very good techniques, all effective, and I'm sure a lot of good guys caught good fish doing that. But like I said, I believe my key to success this week was doing something a little bit different. And on a side note, I need to send out a shout to Bradley Hallman. Bradley Hallman and I started in the same area. I got there maybe 10-15 minutes ahead of him. He was on the inside trees, I was on the outside trees. We rotated through, just the 2 of us, for the first probably 2.5, 3 hours. It was just the 2 of us. We talked a little bit. He kind of stayed to his side, I kind of stayed to my side, you know, sharing it best we could, and effectively and respectively. After day 1 weigh-in, I had a good bag. I was sitting 9th place. He came up after the tournament and asked me, you know, what I was doing, because he saw I was doing something different to him, and I told him what I was doing. And he said, man, good for you, and you don't have to worry about me tomorrow. Bradley Hallman, as I'm sure a lot of you know, is a very, very accomplished angler. I admire his abilities and him very much. I look up to him. I hope I have a career similar to that someday. And for somebody of that stature to say, hey, spot's yours, you're doing something different, there's not that many in there that are that big, but you got it figured out, good luck. I can't say enough about him. So thank you, Bradley, very much. That definitely helped with my mindset, and I believe with my success going into day 2 as well. So thank you.
So we're here, Northern Open on the James River in Richmond, Virginia. Day 1, we just got in the water. Checking the weather, it's very, very breezy. I wanna make the run. I wanna go to the fish I found because I think they're the right fish. I know they're the right fish, but I don't want to die either. So I don't know. And it's
Boat number 158, Brian Post. Where are you, Brian? I see you, Brian. Right straight in front of you, really.
line broke. What the heck?
It broke after the fish got in the boat.
Decent start.
You're fishy, fishy.
It only works sometimes. My wife does. Not very big, but you'll keep. Yep.
was like a freaking 7-pounder,
That
dude.
is a big one. Man.
Oh man, I'm sick.
Decent.
Come here, bugger. So angry.
You already got 3, or is that your 3rd?
This is number 4.
Yeah. Well, you already got 3.
Yep. I think so. Good enough.
Should start to come off.
I did too. I got stuck in the damn trolling motor.
No, I seen your bait come out.
Oh.
Not that big, dude, but I'll definitely take you.
I nicked my line, I know I did. Not that big at all.
What? Came off that same damn tree.
Yep.
3 off that tree, ain't it?
Yeah. Not by much. I was stuck on the tree. I thought I was stuck on the tree.
I think I had a bite. I need him.
We'll move in there a little bit so at least you don't doo-doo by my good tree.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting back, dude. Back up the nest. Good one?
Yeah.
You need help?
Nope, not yet.
That's the same tree. That's the same tree, isn't it? Nice.
Look at the size of that fish.
Damn, cool, though. That's another good one.
not near as big as I thought he was, but
He'll call him, won't he?
oh, he'll call, all right.
You're killing me. Gotta shoulder camera. Pick the boss hat real quick.
So after we left our primary starting area about 11 o'clock in the morning, I felt like I worked over well. Had a couple good fish in the boat. Co-angler had a couple good fish in the boat. Had a couple other things we ran. We ran down around the corner to another set of cypress trees I had, but the wind was one section a gentleman was sitting on, so we kept going. Another section, I fished it, but with white caps rolling in less than 2 feet of water, it's not the right time to keep flipping cypress trees. So we fished it quickly, nothing there. Had one other area to check. Wound up finding another magic tree. It was actually a section of bank I fished last year when we were there. I had found in practice. I practiced there again this year quickly, had a couple bites, left it alone. Again, same thing, there was competitors in the area. They were probably up 7,500 yards from where I was, and I found one particular tree that proved to be very fruitful day one and day two. Again, caught those on the Senko and a couple flipping, and then after we left that area, went back up towards the launch with about hour and a half to go, hour and a half to go. We had a long day first day, and went into one of the pits. Now the pits are what should be perfect this time of year. The fish are looking to spawn. It's slack water in there, if you will. It does rise and goes up and down with the tide, but it doesn't have the current. Sandy, gravelly banks, isolated rocks and logs and different things, and tires and barge cables and all kinds of interesting stuff in there. I went into there to fish one section. I actually started out with a drop shot in there because I had a couple fish on practice on a drop shot, but that, I knew it had been picked over thoroughly already. So I kept going down to what honestly looked like the worst looking part of the bank, and wound up, we had about 15, 18 minutes to go before we needed to make our run back. We were probably 8-10 miles down. Caught a little bitty fish that come off at the side of the boat, wasn't done any good. Pulled up on this little point and wound up catching about a probably 3-pound class fish on a Jackhammer chatterbait. This is the Z-Man Jackhammer, 1/2 ounce, all white. As you can see, there's not much skirt left to it. This poor guy got pummeled. This is one very close that I had hanging on the shelf, so Jackhammer. Put the back of that, I had a Z-Man razor shad. The one thing, they're a bugger to get hooked up and to get hooked up straight, but with that segmented tail, they give a lot of extra action, and they hold together really well. So you're not going through a lot of baits. I fished with the same one. Outside of hitting the trolling motor and knocking the tail off on a horrible cast, I fished with the same one all week. This one's actually in smoky shad. I don't like a paddle tail. There are times a paddle tail works. I threw a paddle tail in Florida, but 90% of the time I will throw like a fluke style. I do not like a paddle tail because the chatterbait is designed to hunt and deflect, and I believe that, in my opinion, excuse me, the paddle tail takes away from that hunting action, from that, you don't just reel it in straight. It's all about the erraticness of it, so that way it attracts the bites. Threw that on a 7'4" Invoker Pro, moderate, fast, medium, heavy. It's got a good parabolic bend to it. 17-pound test, vicious Pro Elite Fluorocarbon on a 6/8-to-1 reel. The ticket, which we'll get into more for day 2 and especially day 3, you'll see this bait a lot. The key to this is, again, like I told you on those cypress trees, everybody was power fishing, everybody was throwing a spinnerbait. This is not your first choice when you come to fishing around cover, because that open hook snags everything. And yes, I did snag a lot, but this is still the same one I started with. I was able to get it back each time, but the ticket was hitting stuff, and you could not fish it slow enough. If you were not constantly making bottom contact, you weren't getting bit. When I get worked up, or I get excited, or I get in a hurry, and I start reeling it too fast, even on a 6/8-to-1, nothing. But pulled up on that, caught that 3-pounder, went through the culling process. It helped me out a few ounces, wheeled the boat back around, come back up on that spot, made another cast, and I caught one nearly 6 with 12 minutes to go. You'll see in the video, I'm super stoked. Very excited. It made up for the big one I lost, but still would like to have that big one. And wound up 18 pounds, I think it was 18 pounds 3 ounces on day one, sitting in 9th.
Oh, it's one that really made a mess of things. Hope these things sting or something.
Oh yeah, you know how to handle it?
No, you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you do
Yeah,
it.
you don't, because it'll fuck you up. You're gonna come up from behind it, like this.
Okay. It's been a while.
Okay, you hold that one and that one. And
He's right there on the side. Players are right there. Talking to you.
well, I'll tell you what, that's some good eating fish right there.
Oh, yeah.
Pure white meat and low smell.
Thank you. I don't think he's going to help.
You know me. That's about what I got, eh?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh yeah. You know if you want to help.
Yep.
Huh?
I'm all right. Come on, just wear yourself down. Go jacuzzi ride, will be good.
Get down,
Man, if I had that big one this morning, I'd be on a bag, wouldn't I, boys and girls?
man. You was coming to Westwood today. Why?
What the? Are you okay?
Yeah. No, man. I'm glad that was only a quarter.
You all right?
Yeah. And then he tried to kill me.
Okay.
He's the real deal right here.
Yes. Whew, finally. Oh my God. There's no way that's a bass. Oh my God. Heads up, heads up, heads up, heads up.
You need to go. Can I grab you?
No, no, I got him, I got him.
Hey, man. Alright, okay.
We got 12 minutes to go. Ah!
Right now for you, John. Good luck tomorrow. Ryan Post, come on up. Janesville, Wisconsin.
Boater son, good to see you, Brian. 5 in the bag. It's like 5 nice ones.
Yeah, unfortunately I lost one that was bigger than all of them.
5 fish worth 18 pounds and 3 ounces, all the way up to 6th place for Brian. A nice start. And oh man, when we see the total number of weight caught here today, it's going to be pretty high. Lots and lots of good size bags, and this one's at 18 pounds 3 ounces. Brian Post of Janesville, Wisconsin, has him in 6th place. And good luck tomorrow. David Camp, non-boater out of Ohio. Come on up, David.
Thank you.